welcome to a very special edition of ITV News on Channel Television. We're live from the red carpet as Hollywood comes to Jersey. As we speak, the island's very own superstar and Superman Henry Cavill is flying into St Helier to bring the blockbuster home. We'll also be looking back at Henry Cavill's meteoric rise to stardom from talented Jersey man to Superman, and speaking to those who've witnessed firsthand his transformation.
He would tend to be straight at the classroom door. The minute break was there, wanting to run through his part again.
And if that's not enough glitz and glamour for you, we'll have live interviews with A-list stars Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe and Amy Adams. Join us for all that and the rest of the day's news at the biggest showbiz event of the year. Good evening and welcome to a very special ITV News on Channel Television. It's a historic night here in St Helier as Hollywood comes to Jersey. Hundreds of islanders, as you can see around me, waiting to greet the homegrown star, Jerseyman Henry Cavill himself, for the local blockbuster of Man of Steel. Henry about to arrive and greet the guests and fans here, sign autographs and pose for photos with them. It's all very exciting. We're excited too. We're about to hear from him shortly, live on this programme, along with other A-list stars. But first of all, let's have a look at Henry in the film that everyone's talking about.
Talking about Jersey, so we're just doing the best that we can.
Could we possibly see him in your next Jersey tourism advertising campaign? That'd be nice.
It would be.
Now, it has been a meteoric rise to stardom for Henry Cavill, from St Michael's student to Hollywood star. But just how did the Jerseyman land the role of Superman, the first ever Englishman to land that particular role? Jez has been back to his old school to learn how a little boy became a huge star of the silver screen.
As Superman, he's the new son of Krypton. But Henry Cavill is in fact the son of Jersey. In 1987, at the age of 4, he started school here at St Michael's Primary in St Saviour, and it was here that he first learned to tread the boards and showed his promise as an actor.
We never stop working from the early hours of the morning till late at night.
Although disguised by a beard, this is Henry, aged 8, playing a main part as the storyteller in a Christmas play. The drama teacher who cast him says Henry's talent and passion for acting was obvious from a young age.
I gave him the script to look at and we went over it, and within 2 days he'd come back more or less knowing all of it. And he was very keen indeed. He actually was so much like a grandfather that the 2 little grandchildren, you can see in the videos, that they were looking up to him as if he was a grandpa. Not just a boy in the class above. And he was in character, which is a jolly hard thing to do, actually, I think, when you're 8.
But it wasn't until he was 24 that Henry got his first big break, playing the Duke of Suffolk in the TV series The Tudors.
What a pity if all should go awry.
Luckily for Cavill, it didn't, and his next big role was in the film Immortals, where he played a heroic villager who wages war on a wicked king.
I don't know if I can do what Zeus asks of me, but you can see the future.
And the future held big things for the Jerseyman, with the role of Superman just around the corner. But playing the Man of Steel meant pumping a lot of iron, a task that came naturally when you look back at his school photos. Being in the first team for hockey, rugby and cricket, he was clearly a keen sportsman.
He was a good athlete, therefore well coordinated, so any of the scenes where he needs to, jump out of planes or whatever, he's very capable of doing, because he was a good coordinated athlete. But I could also see that he was perfectly capable of building up, with a bit of power lifting or whatever, building up his physique.
But it's the build-up of Henry's career that most impresses the aspiring actors at his old school. Indeed, being from a tiny island hasn't stopped big things happening to the superstar. And where Cavill's career is concerned, the sky's the limit.
Well, I can tell you the noise levels have gone up just a few notches in the last few moments. One big reason for that, the man of the moment, Henry Cavill, is here with me. Henry, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Everyone's so pleased you've put on this premiere tonight in Jersey. Tell us why you did it.
Why? It's home. This is where I'm from. This is the most important place I could possibly bring this back to. And I couldn't be happier to be here.
You've had the big headline premieres in New York and London. Is there a part of you where this means a little bit more? It's your home fans and your home island.
Not just a part of me, all of me. I mean, this trumps New York, this trumps London by a long, long way. I am so happy to be here.
And what about the film itself? How proud are you to be in that?
Very proud. It's an honour. It's very humbling, and just an amazing experience working with the people who I got to work with.
You speak about the people you got to work with. Russell Crowe, someone you've admired for many years. How special was that?
Very, very special. I mean, Russell is an amazing actor. Amy Adams is an amazing actress. All of the cast are absolutely stunning. To work with them changed the whole experience. It made it something far more exciting and just incredible.
And you've been working so hard for so long for this moment, for this break. 13 years, you had a lot of knockbacks, and you've mentioned that publicly.
Absolutely.
How tough was that coming through that period?
It's always tough, but it's also part of the whole process with acting. You just have to deal with the being turned down. It's part of the process.
How much has your life changed over the past year?
Well, over the past week, it's changed an awful lot. I mean, this here in Jersey is just mind-blowing to me. I mean, this really brought it home, obviously, but brought it home in that crazy way where I've been in New York, been in London, and you kind of expect it because it's just the way it is. But coming back to Jersey and it being like this has made me realise a change.
You took a little deep breath there. What does all this mean to you? You're getting such adulation, people watching on tenterhooks next to us.
What does it mean to me? It means that I've done a good job, I guess. It's a great movie that we put together. A lot of love and attention went into it, and it's just nice to be here and have everyone so excited.
How big a break do you think this is for you?
Only time will tell. I just don't know. We had a pretty good opening night last night, so we're going to wait and see.
And the role of Superman, how do you approach such an iconic role?
With care and attention. It was something which I wanted to approach physically in a certain way, and just really go to the source material. We pretended like none of the other live action stuff had existed before we created this, and so hopefully it's a great origin story for all the kids out there.
And just going back to Russell Crowe for a moment, because he's here, we're looking forward to seeing him in a bit. You met him back when you were at school as a teenager, and that connection has continued for many years. Just talk us through that briefly.
Goodness, I met him when I was about 16 years old. He was shooting Proof of Life, one scene of it in Stowe School, where I went to boarding school. And I walked up to him, said hello, said, you know, what's acting like? I'm considering becoming an actor. And he told me that it was, you know, it pays well, but sometimes they don't treat you so good. And I know I laughed, and then everyone ran up and asked for autographs, and so I waved to him over everyone's heads. 2 days later, he sends an Aussie rugby jersey, Vegemite, band CDs, some Australian sweets, and a picture of him in Gladiator saying, "Dear Henry, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And I used that every time I came home, every time I was here working in Liquid or in London working in bars. I used that to keep me inspired and to keep pushing on.
Great story. Henry, thank you very much. Congratulations on the film, and do enjoy your evening. Well, lots of excitement here this evening. There's more to come. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more live reaction and interviews. But right now it's back to Jess in the studio.